You're tuned into RBLR, the home of Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
Point Watson gets it. He toe drag, shoots, scores! Oh, unbelievable! Right at point, wins the game in overtime. An incredible move.
4 seconds left. In front, heavy moment. The Tampa Bay Lightning have won the first Stanley Cup. And the Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Stanley Cup.
Welcome into RBLR Lightning here on RBLR Sports. Thank you for joining us as we record here before the Tuesday game versus Nashville. My name is Eureka, and joining me tonight is Chris. What's happening, man?
Man, not much, man. You know, ready to talk some Lightning hockey. It's definitely really warm outside today, so ready to get back on the ice and cool down a little bit.
It's been kind of a uneventful trade deadline for the Bolts, in the fact that they didn't go out and make any blockbuster moves, but you're coming back with that very successful team so far this season, and of course they're a Stanley Cup winning roster from last year, so I don't think anyone expected them to go out and acquire a huge name. However, that's the first thing we will talk about. Is the trade deadline ended today, and their big move was acquiring David Savard a couple days ago. Now, Savard's a big shot blocking defensive specialist who should be paired at least to start with Victor Hedman. So, Chris, that's my first question to you, man. What should we expect with Savard? How do you feel about the Bolts going out and acquiring this defenseman?
Yeah, man, it's something we needed. We kind of talked about, if we did trade, what do you think we could add? And I talked about, some kind of defensive depth, because let's be honest, the defense has been shaky at times this year. We struggle to block shots, we struggle to clear the puck out of the zone. So I think it's a really good trade for the Lightning. He's 6'2", 233 pounds. He's only 30 years old. He's going to definitely, I think, from what I saw, he is going to be paired with Hedman, so that'll be good for Hedman. Get him some help out there. Get a bigger body out there. We definitely could use that shot blocking guy out there to help Vasi out and have him take so many shots a game. We don't want to wear Vasi down, so we definitely need those shot blockers. I think it was a good move. Hey, he's not going to go out there and score 30 goals for you, but he's going to do his job on defense, and it's definitely a good move that we made, and I expect good things from him. Joining the team. So overall, I think it was the right move, and I think he's going to pan out pretty well. He should be starting tonight. I believe he's going to be in tonight, going against Nashville. So it should be interesting to see.
Yeah, have you seen anything from him this season? To any kind of a scouting report that you've got for him?
He's only got 1 goal, 5 assists. The only thing I see that's kind of just kind of worrisome is the -19 on the plus minus, but that's also that could also be Columbus isn't scoring too much with the line he was on over there, so that's not necessarily all his fault. Right. That's pretty much it. Like you said, he's gonna block your shots. He's had a pretty solid career. He's a good bigger guy, so it's definitely the thing I think that we were missing, and I think we needed to just take some of that pressure off the D that's just been a little sketchy. And you're bringing in a more of a veteran guy, because we do have a lot of younger guys out there. Sergachev's still young. He plays really well at a high level, but he's still a younger guy. McDonough's a little older veteran out there. Obviously Hedman, but Foot's been out there a lot. Chernak's been hurt here and there, so. Adding the depth is definitely good, and I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a big signing, and I think I don't know if we're necessarily going to see it right away, but you'll start to notice him more and more out there, blocking shots and getting more ice time, and once he gets figures out our system and gets some time in there, I think you're going to see good things from him.
All right, and the other piece of news was not just they brought in Savard, but the way they acquired him. This was kind of a head scratcher if you go and look at how the pieces moved. But Basically, Columbus is ending up with a first-round pick from the Lightning in 2021, and then in 2022 they're also going to get a third rounder. But the way that this worked is we actually worked with the Detroit Red Wings as a third party. So Detroit's also going to get a fourth-round draft pick from the Lightning, but Tampa's going to get David Savard, as well as Brian Lashoff, who I'm not sure if he'll even sniff the roster, but they basically got him at no dollar amount on the books for the salary cap, but they are giving up 3 draft picks. But the way that happened was, so Columbus, if you're on paper, Columbus traded Savard to Detroit, okay, and then retained, Columbus is retaining half of his salary there, okay, so that's a 50% discount right there. But then the Red Wings then traded Savard to Tampa, and they're retaining 50%. So that's 2 halves in my John Madden math here. But that means that the Bolts aren't paying a single dollar of his salary to come in here. That's well, I guess on the cap hit, it's the way all the abacus moves and things like that. I guess Tampa does have to pay a little bit of his salary cap, but that's huge considering how tight the Bolts salary cap situation is. What do you think about these kind of weird machinations and salary cap magic going on, man?
I mean, I'll take it, man. Like, kind of said last week about how I didn't think it was going to happen, but I said you never know with the way the Lightning work, and then boom, something magical happens like this. It's definitely a typical, I feel like it's like a typical Tampa trade-esque that we would kind of pull off and somehow figure out a way to get it to work. And I know people were kind of mad and annoyed at how did the Tampa make this happen? An already pretty good loaded roster. Now we're adding a pretty solid veteran defenseman that's gonna play a bigger role come towards the end of the season in playoffs. So it's it's definitely interesting, man. It's a funny one, but I'm glad it worked out. And I don't know all the logistics and all that stuff about it and how it works, but I'm just glad it worked in general, man.
Are you at all worried about the 3 draft picks going away for Savard?
Yes and no. Eventually, I think, I mean, I say this, but I feel like our pipeline runs dry. It's got to run dry at some point. But I mean, look at guys like Ross Colton now and how well he's playing, and then Barley. He's had a couple games, so it's kind of like I feel like our pipeline is going to get dry eventually, so we are going to need those, I feel like we are going to need those draft picks, but at the same time, it's like, man, these guys keep coming out of nowhere and just having really good seasons in rookie years, and then, they end up staying on the team, and I think it's just goes to show how well we are at just, I guess, our system and how well we work. And so, I mean, losing the draft picks, I think it could hurt a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. Just the way that, like I said, our organization works, it seems that somehow we always find a way, and I think we're good at rebuilding and getting these younger guys up. So not so much. I don't know. Draft picks to me in hockey aren't, unless you're like a top 10. A top 10 pick. I mean, but then again, the Lightning have been good at drafting too, so it's got its, I think both of them, I think it's kind of got its, its pluses and minuses and, negatives, positives, I should say. So, pros, cons, stuff like that. But I mean, it could hurt us in the long run a little bit, but as of right now, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because you're looking at the window for the Bolts is wide open for the Cup this year, and I think a pretty strong for next year as well. So you're looking at first round draft pick. Sure, that sounds kind of bad, but if it's the last pick in the draft, as the Bolts are one of the top teams, points wise and record wise, that it probably won't come back to bite them. I mean. But every draft pick's a lottery ticket, and you never know when you're gonna hit gold on that. So, but the other part would have to be as soon as the Red Wings get involved, you have to think that our old pal Stevie Y, who's the general manager of the Red Wings, kind of did his boy Julian a favor here. Now, some of the criticism was that, okay, here's Tampa circumventing the rules again. They got Kucherov waiting in the wings. He's probably ready to go now. He's probably wearing a mustache and playing beer league hockey somewhere. And they don't have to pay any of his like $10 million salary this year.
Right.
But the Toronto Sun even had a pretty lengthy opinion piece, basically saying like, don't hate what Tampa's doing. Hate that more teams aren't doing what they're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, do you think though it's clever when we're on this side of the ice, but like I don't know, are we cheating the system a bit? Do you think?
No, I think we're playing by the rules, man. Fair's fair. I mean, we're just got a good owner and got a good organization, making moves and doing what we got to do to kind of get our team together, man. And we're not sitting back. We're not, where it's like, we got the same team, but can we improve? Okay, how can we improve? What do we need to do to improve? Okay, well, who's out there? All right, well, let's go. Let's try to make it happen. Let's see what we can do. Let's try to make a move, and they did, and it worked out. And I think if other people or other teams, organizations are gonna hate on us, then let them hate, man. They're hating on victory. They're hating on the Stanley getting a tan and not being in the frigid weather of Canada, man. I mean, I don't even remember the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup, to be honest. It's been a long it has. So, I'm sure it's just other teams hating, but I think the Lightning are playing by the rules, and I'm glad to be a Bolts fan right now for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The other move that the Bolts did, kind of under the radar, but Frederick Claesson, another defenseman, coming over from the San Jose Sharks for a prospect that's been in our system. So, prospect that's been in our system, playing in college is goalie Magnus. Awesome name here, Magnus Corona. Like I think we lost like 1 million cool name points.
That's all
in
the
that
Sharks
trade.
do, man. They go for goalies with cool names.
That's so awesome, dude. Magnus Corona. It's like a video game character. But I'm assuming this is another depth move. Am I right to think that?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play. He's only played 4 total games this year. I don't know if that's injury related or not. I don't really follow the Sharks, but I know he's only played 4 games. He did play 64 games back in 2017 and 2018, 33 games back in 2016 and 2017, and then 37 games in 2018, 2019, and then it kind of New Jersey. In 2019, 2020, only played 5, and then this year he's only played 4. So, let's see how old he's 28. So I mean, he's 2 years younger than Savard. So maybe the Lightning saw something in him that we could add for depth. It could also be that maybe Ruda's injury is a lot longer than we think. If Ruda's going to be out, could just be playing it safe. We saw a guy we could get. Why not add a guy that's could play a couple minutes here and there and fill in with a little more veteran role-ish. For come playoff time, it doesn't hurt. So I don't expect magical things from him, but I think it's just definitely kind of adding for the depth chart.
All right. How do you feel now that the roster's pretty much set for this final stretch of the season? Do you think that they're like? Are you hype? Are we ready to go? We retooling, getting that sunscreen out for Stanley again? I mean, how do you feel, man?
No, I feel good. I feel confident. I said last week it's going to be a bumpy ride, but just, buckle up. We'll be fine. And we got, we'll talk about the games this week here soon. But I think it's going to be, I think we're fine. I think it was, we made some moves, which is obviously if you want to win the Stanley Cup, teams make moves. And it was fine with me to make a move. We didn't lose any players. We got away with that. I thought for sure maybe Johnson would kind of be on that trade area, but he's still here. I thought even Cirelli might have been up for trade, but he's still here too. So I mean, I'm happy with the team. I think we got a good team going forward. I think obviously Stamkos, we don't know the injury yet. We're definitely gonna need him back. So that's a little bit worrisome. I'm hoping it's not too long. Hopefully it's not gonna linger, and then we're gonna get Cooch back come playoff time. So I mean, the team's locked and loaded, ready to go, and I'm hoping for that repeat.
Yeah, you mentioned Steven Stamkos still injured. The team's kind of being a little shaky when asked about, is this a re-aggravation of his old injury? Is this a new thing? How long do we really expect him to be out? I guess the other question would be about did they go far enough, maybe trying to shore up the scoring, just in case Stamkos is going to be out for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's not long, but even if he is out, I think we still have enough talent to win big games and to do what we got to do, because realistically there's 15 games left, including tonight's game. So let's say even if Stamkos was out the rest of the season, let's say he comes back, playoff time with Cooch, we're still going to be fine. We're not going to miss the playoffs. We're going to get in, and even like I said, if I can't see us falling to that 4 seed. I think our points were pretty good up there between the 1, 2, and the 3. So even if we bounce around between there, even without Stamkos, I think we're going to be fine. Obviously, losing him is huge again, but we've overcome it before, and I think we can overcome it now. So, just confidence going into the last 15 games of the season. Just got to stay positive and just keep on hoping we can pull out, a couple wins here and there. We got some big games coming up. So definitely looking forward to the last 15 games of the season for sure.
Yeah, now let's take a look at where everything is situated right now around the division. Our Lightning are atop the standings still at, I guess they took the lead in the standings. They are at 58 points with a record of 28 wins, 11 losses, and 2 overtime losses. But nipping on our heels isn't Florida, it is Carolina, though. Carolina's in second, tied at 58 points with 27 wins, 10 losses, and 4 overtime losses. But Florida's still in the mix. Like you said, there's probably going to be a lot of jumbling up and down here. Florida's in third with 56 points, so they're only 2 points back in third place. And they've got 26 wins, 12 losses, 4 overtime losses. And then rounding out the playoff squads is Nashville, who have 47 points. They're a ways away, 23-19-1. And Chicago, 2 points away from them. How are we thinking? I know there's a lot of jumbling up and down, but have we seen anything with 15 games to go? Any big thoughts?
It's really going to come. I think it's really going to come down to that series. I think we have 4 games against Florida, so I think it's really going to come down to that. How many points we can take away from them. I know they've been slumping a little bit offensive wise, as far as putting goals in net, but we had that too. So I mean, these teams are going to come with these losing streaks, and it's just the way we're playing the same teams over and over. And even come playoff time, I think it's going to be almost like, well, we've been playing this same team already all year, so now we got to play them again, in a best of 7 series. I don't know if the first round's 5. I don't remember if it's first round's 5 or 7 series or not, but it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, dude, even if you look at the Red Wings, dead last, they're only 9 points from that 4th playoff spot from the Predators, or 11 points, I should say. But I mean, that's not that. I mean, yeah, they're not going to make it, but I'm just saying 11 points from last to 4th in the playoffs isn't a big gap at all. No. You know what I mean?
You're right.
It's a 5-6 game win streak, for Detroit. So it just goes to show that this new division alignment, like I said, the games are going to be a lot closer. It's going to be tougher. It's going to come down to that last week, I think, for sure, on who's going to get that 1, 2, 3 might be decided by them. But then again, I don't know, because with the Panthers being, like you said, only 2 points behind us, it really might come down to us playing the Panthers and the Hurricanes before the end of the season to see who gets that 1 seed.
Yeah, and there should be a little bit more separation with now Chicago kind of unloading their entire roster at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to pummel. Like I know they're 2 points away from Nashville, but that's my projection is that will change drastically. So, well, let's take a look at the week that was for the Lightning. Since last we spoke, what has gone on the ice, man?
Well, we had 3 games since we last spoke. So we had that 1 loss against Columbus, that was a tough game to watch. We didn't really play well at all that game. That was one of those games where we just didn't look good. The defense played bad. Then we had that other game against Columbus where we scored 6 goals. We scored 3 goals in the first period, but then at the end we kind of started letting Columbus kind of fizzle back in there, scoring 4 goals, and that's not like Vassy to give up a 4-goal game like that. So we're lucky to get away with that one, but at this point, a win's a win, and I'll take it. And then the game against the Predators, man, that was probably Vasi's best performance of the season. I feel like I've seen. We won that game 3-0, but man, Nashville probably had they had to have had 8, 9, almost 10 like really high percentage scoring chances, and Vasi was just save after save after save after. He was just so focused and in the zone, and like I said, I think from top to bottom that was Vasi's best game of the season, from start to finish. He played absolutely phenomenal that game, and you could tell he did not want to give up a goal. He wanted that shutout. So, I mean, the Predators clawed. The Lightning did the best they could, but man, that game was definitely all on Vasi. So props to him for that. He definitely showed up for that game, and that was a really impressive victory there. So, 2 wins, 1 loss in our last 3. So, I'll take anything I can get at this point. We kind of got out of that little slump that we were on. Losing a couple games here and there, and looked a little better offensively, and it's a lot of that has to do with just injuries. The lines are going to take a little bit to get used to newer guys filling in, and I think Cooper's done a good job with the lines and everybody working well together. So I think now you're going to start to see with Savard being in the mix, I think you're going to see the defense slowly start playing a little better. I don't think we're going to allow as many shots, allow as many goals, I'm hoping. But I think right now the team's going to be on the right path to get gelling and, finish these 15 games strong.
Yeah, I mean, you had a really good performance by Yanni Gourde getting 3 assists in the one game. It's crazy. So it's good to see them lighten up the lamp, even without Stammer. But you gotta agree with you on defense just being kind of an up and down thing. I mean, and even going into this season, we were kind of like, well, they let people in front of the net. They can't do that if they're going to expect Vasi to really shine. So yeah, I mean, I think a performance like a 4-2 loss against Columbus is exactly why they went out and got a guy like Savard. So do you think a little bit of an up and down defense with coupled with really good Vasilevsky performance? Are those kind of the big overall trends, or was there anything else you've been seeing with the Bolts over the last week?
I think that's really it, especially over just 3 games. Not much time span as far as 6-7 games to talk about. But I think the defense is going to play better from here on out. I don't think they've played the best the past 3 games, but we got away with the wins. And like I said, Nashville had way too many scoring opportunities in that game. If Vasi wasn't on, man, Nashville could have almost probably scored 6-7 goals that game. The percentage of high percentage shots they had were just unbelievable, and Vasi saved the day there. So that's another game Vasi's probably saved us from. Not taking anything away from the offense, who, he scored 3 goals, but I think Vasi definitely saved us that game.
Yeah, that's the one he had 36 saves, and now was there? Because now I'm starting to kind of wonder about, okay, with all these teams playing each other so many times, now we're starting to feel like, okay, is there a tell? Is there a thing that these teams are finding out about the Lightning to that they're able to, even if they're losing, they're learning something that they're going to be able to use down the road?
Yeah, and I think the thing is that I think a lot of teams see we really struggle to clear the puck out of our own zone at points. Man, there's times when teams are just taking 6-7 shots in one shift, and that's going to tire out your defense, and your forwards are going to get tired, and they can't get to the bench to line change. And I think that's one of our biggest weaknesses, if not our biggest weakness, is just clearing the puck out of our own zone safely, because we're a very fast team, so we like to turn it up really quickly and get that puck moving out and get it fast and get those odd man rushes and get that 2-on-1 or that breakaway, where a lot of times you see the Lightning, it's a guy off the bench shooting right up the middle, and you can see the defense waiting to get that pass right between 2-line pass, and then boom, it's a breakaway and we're trying to score. So I think it's our style of play, and it's one of those, I don't want to say it's boom or bust, but it's definitely boom or dangerous. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous style because it can cost us a lot of odd man rushes against us, and it puts our defense in 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s, and then Vasi's being left hung out to dry to make a lot of the saves that he made against Nashville. So I think the biggest thing we need to improve on is just clearing the puck out of the zone properly. Sometimes I think we just need to slow down, and pass it around the boards a little bit and just get it out instead of that. I got the puck, boom, boom, pass it out. Because that's when you no look passes, you're not looking, line changes are coming in and out, and other teams are just intercepting our passes and getting odd man rushes. So I think we just have to really improve in our own zone, clearing the puck out.
All right, turning the page to a more optimistic view here. Well, who are your 3 stars for the week?
Man, I'm giving number 1 to Ross Colton, man. Dude's been nothing but great.
Hey,
He's played phenomenal. He had that goal from Yanni Gourde with the no-look pass back to him, and he just 5-holed on, what's his name? I can't think of the goalie's name for Nashville. He 5-holed him, though, but it was great shot. Colton's, he's on his pace for, he's got 3 goals in 3 games, so he can become the 3rd rookie in Lightning franchise history recorded 4-goal game streak. So if he does it tonight,
on fire, yeah.
He is. I'm going to give my number 2 to Yanni Gourde. We talked about it earlier. He plays hard. I think he's had 6 assists and 1 goal over the past, I want to say 4 games, I believe, 5 games. And it's not even him scoring goals. It's just the way he creates the turnovers. He gets the team rolling. And I think Gourde is that guy that really just fires the team up, man. And he's played really well as of lately. So I got to give number 2 to him. And then I think I'm gonna put Bassey on the 3rd one this time. Usually I keep Bassey at number 1 just because he keeps us in a lot of games, but he did have a so-so game against Columbus where he did allow some questionable goals, but that game against Nashville was just a star by itself. So he's gonna be my 3rd star. But Colton, Gourde, and Bassey.
Now, has there been any update on Gourde's availability after that kind of hit at the end of the last Nashville game on Saturday?
Yeah, he's fine. He's gonna play.
Okay.
It was a cheap shot. I know the guy got suspended 2 games, I believe. It was definitely one of those 30 seconds left. And Gourde had already been hit in the lip that game, so he already had some stitches on his lip from getting hit.
At the office. Yeah.
So that was a cheap shot, man. Lightning were upset about that one for sure. You don't want to do one of those skating across and just throw an elbow in a guy's face. That's definitely meant with intent for a reason. So Gourde should be fine. He's a tough guy, man. Gourde doesn't care. He ain't scared. He'll go in front of that net with the big boys, man, and bang it out and get physical and face wash them. It's great. I love Yanni Gourde. He's a great player and he contributes a lot to the team, man. So he should be good to go.
Yeah. Now the Bolts are going to get another crack at Nashville on the road here tonight. Kind of how do you see that playing out, and then their next series against Florida and even one against Carolina?
Oof, man, here we go, man. This is what we talked about. It's gonna get tough. This is a big game tonight. I think this is I don't want to say it's a must win, but we definitely need to win. I think creating some momentum, going back home. We gotta we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home games in a row after today. So that's huge, man. And we've played really well at home. The game against Nashville tonight was Savard's going to be playing. Mitchell Stevens is actually back up. He's going to play tonight. So it'll be interesting to see Mitchell Stevens back in the lineup. He's played pretty well for the Crunch since he came back from his injury. So he'll get back out there on the ice tonight. I think you're going to see a lot of speed. I think Savard's gonna get in a fight tonight. Honestly, I have a feeling Savard's gonna. I really do. After that cheap shot on Gourde or that Cousins guy on Nashville was just playing real dirty. So I think you're going to see something from Savard tonight on his new team. He's excited to be here. I know they did a little Skype interview with him. He was all smiles, all happy. Big old bushy beard. So he's going to be out there. I think you're going to see something from him tonight. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fight out there tonight on the ice, which is good. I love the fights. And then Thursday starts that big series, man, against Florida. This is going to be some tough. This is almost going to be like playoff hockey, I have a feeling, this Thursday and Saturday series against Florida. I think you're going to see some close games. I think you're going to see playoff-style hockey, man. A lot of hits, a lot of emotions, definitely in these 2 games against Florida. And then we got a lot of games coming up. Then we got 2 against Carolina Monday and Tuesday. So we got tonight, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Ooh, that's a tough stretch, man. That's tough. So that's tough to start our last 15 games. So, I mean, the Carolina series is huge. You're going you're playing the third place team to playing the second place team, and then that Carolina game those Carolina games are back to back, so Bassey's going to be sitting one of those, so it's going to be some big games. This last 15 games, man, this is it. It's time to drive it home, time to get some wins and get some points and try to lock up that 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is what I'm looking forward to is creating separation. I mean, there's only not too many more points to put on in the column there as you're kind of solidifying your playoff position. But like you said earlier, though, even if they drop down to second or third or something like that, I mean, it's all these teams are going to be playing each other again in the playoffs. So if you can get a little bit of separation to get some kind of advantage as playoff time comes, I think that's little things like that are really going to matter.
Definitely getting home ice too. We play well at home, so I'm all for that 1 seed home ice. And man, looking at the schedule, I just got me really excited right now, man. This schedule's going to be good. This is going to be a good last 15 games. I didn't realize that this Florida series and Carolina series were so close. So it's going to be some good hockey. I hope everyone's tuned in and buckled in and ready to go, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, couldn't say anything better than that. I mean, I think I'm ready. I'm excited for tonight's game, and I'm excited to come back next week and see how it all shakes up, because this is the time with us having this really big. This is the last big stretch of home games coming off of our big stretch of away games that we just had. So it's getting to be hockey time, baby.
It is, man. It's gonna be tough. These are gonna be tough tests. It really is. I think we're gonna really see what the team's made of here. And like I said, you're gonna see Savard, and we picked him up, and I'm excited, man. I expect to see good things from this team moving forward. Get Cooch back, and let's run it back, man. Let's get another cup.
Wonderful. Well, Chris, thank you so much, and for all of us, or all of you that are listening here, the one thing that we can ask, that if you want to help us out, it helps us out a lot. If you go on any form of social media, we are at RBLR Sports. Go ahead and like our page. Go ahead and subscribe to follow us. Whatever you can do to help, it all helps. It's a couple clicks for you, but it's a big deal to us. If you're on Spotify, if you're on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple, you name it. If you go ahead and just go ahead, like, subscribe, and why not? If you're there, you can give us a review. Give us the 5 stars that I know that we're trying to give you every single week. So this is it for the Lightning Show today. We also have the Buck Show coming up, the Rays Show coming up, Rowdy's around the corner. It's a good time here at RBLR Sports. So like I said, that little like, that little subscribe, it helps us out a lot. So for all of us here at RBLR Sports, for Chris, and again, my name is Eureka. I can't say thank you enough. Let's go Bolts, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.